What's up, everybody? Big Dog here. Starting this new YouTube channel, Big Dog Reacts. Basically started watching these videos. Well, I just saw one, and I thought to myself, it would be funny as hell if I reacted to these and see which one of these I think is the most painful ones. But anyways, this is gonna be a new channel. Like I said, it's gonna be reacting, talking about occurring events, what's hot, what's going on right now. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. For me, guys, thank you. And let's get started with the video.
Treadwell watched his torn-off arm while the enraged grizzly sank its teeth into him. Screams of his girlfriend, Amy Huguenard, echoed in his head. Both became victims of a merciless predator, devouring them alive.
Damn.
Slow death is the scariest thing imaginable.
Alright, the video just started off. I guess the bear is just about to mink their shit.
But on the pain scale, crafted from scientific studies, being eaten alive only rates 100 points.
What?
Meanwhile, the most horrifying death is estimated at 140.
140.
Stick around until the end to find out what hits.
I don't know. Being ate alive, ayo, is kind of crazy. Okay.
Maximum mark.
What could be more than that?
I warn you, viewer discretion is advised.
Okay.
On October 11th, 2012, workers at a seafood processing plant in Santa Fe Springs sounded the alarm.
Cali?
Their colleague, 62-year-old Jose Molina, had vanished suddenly. After nearly 90 minutes of searching, the boiler operator suggested opening the last loaded oven. Inside, they cooked and sterilized tuna at high temperatures. Workers had to wait half an hour for the oven to cool down. All this time, their only thought was, I hope Jose isn't in there.
Oh.
Unfortunately, he was indeed.
Oh, nah.
When the workers opened the door, they were horrified to find him inside. As it turned out, Molina was loading pallets of canned tuna into the oven when he noticed
my son got made into tuna.
Without warning anyone, he stepped into the oven to adjust the chain inside. Meanwhile, another worker, not seeing Jose, assumed he had already left.
That's crazy.
So he closed and turned on the oven. Burns. And then the high temperature began to affect his muscles and organs. Eventually, the poor man was boiled alive. Looking at the pain scale, where, for example, 2 points are attributed to a gunshot to the head, and 91 to a shark bite, while dying from being literally boiled alive hits a staggering 105.
Damn.
Points. And unfortunately, such incidents in production happen quite often. In 2009,
see? That's why I'm trying this YouTube joint. I'm not trying to work in no factory. I'm not gonna end up like these people. No, no, no.
Vincent Smith II worked at an illegal chocolate factory,
Look at my uncle.
Cocoa Service, in Camden, New Jersey. The 29-year-old worker
Camden
was dumping giant chunks of chocolate over the edge of a vat, nearly 2.5 meters deep. There, chocolate.
His fat ass is trying to get a scoop of that. I know. I already know. That's some shit I would do.
I know. Where it goes.
Suddenly, Vincent was struck by a mixer paddle and fell right into the hot molten mass, reaching a temperature of 120 degrees Celsius.
Oh, he got cooked in
His
chocolate.
colleagues immediately rushed to shut down the machine. However, Vincent stayed in the chocolate for a full 10 minutes before rescuers could pull him out. Even though his body was mangled by the giant mixer, Vincent died from burns. The
Yo, he got turned into a chocolate pretzel. Oh my gosh.
tragedy occurred because the platform he fell from was slippery from splattered chocolate, and with 105 points. On November 23, 2018, a 911 dispatcher heard the shaky voice of a 76-year-old woman.
Shaky.
It was Loretta Picard from Polk County, Florida.
I think my house is on fire, and I'm here alone, and I'm on a walker.
Why is this all familiar places? What's going on?
Firefighters were immediately dispatched to her house. The dispatcher told the woman to leave the building and go outside, to which she replied,
Couldn't, honey, if I wanted to.
Oh, she's stuck in there.
That nervous laugh at the end just breaks your heart.
Oh,
Loretta
no.
had recently undergone surgery and couldn't move quickly without assistance. Plus, she couldn't see anything through the smoke. Meanwhile, the fire truck slowly made its way down the rough country road where the woman lived. On the recording, you could hear Loretta start coughing and wheezing, and the sound of the crackling fire in the background.
Did they hear her burn alive?
But I can't show you what the recording captured next.
Oh.
Because then, the flames engulfed the woman, who never got the help she
Barbara!
needed. She screamed wildly as she
Barbara!
The link to the full recording I'll leave in the
See why he
description
put the
below.
recorder in the link? This guy.
Loretta was dying while firefighters were just...
Can't she? I put the link in the description, man. Can't show you. Nope, can't show you. Link is in the description though.
minutes away from her yard. The phone call cut out after 20 minutes, and rescuers arrived at the scene 14 minutes later. Yet nobody ever went inside to save her. Words. And the dispatcher was blamed for giving ineffective instructions. Due to the negligence of rescuers, Loretta died in agony.
Yeah, that's
because the pain from burning alive, it's a staggering 108 points.
Damn.
You wouldn't wish such a death on anyone. Outside the Cambodian embassy in Saigon.
Why?
The day before, journalists were informed that something important
They set themselves on fire?
Buddhists were deeply offended by the disrespect of their beliefs by the South Vietnamese government. So, around 350 monks and nuns gathered for another peaceful protest. Suddenly, not far from the presidential palace, a car stopped and 3 monks got out. Malcolm pointed his camera at the trio, not realizing what he would witness through the lens next.
Krillin?
Protesters
Motherfucking
gathered
Krillin?
around Kwan, who sat on a pillow in the traditional Buddhist meditative lotus pose, while another monk started pouring gasoline over his head.
Oh,
Kwan paid no attention.
What? Yo.
And when he finished, he struck a match. The flames instantly engulfed him, rising up in black smoke. It was a horrifying spectacle.
Oh, he tweaking.
Kwang Duk's body slowly
Fireball jutsu. What? He tweaking.
withering and shriveling.
Why?
While his head blackened and charred. I can't show you. The scene was
Oh
very
my
contrasting,
gosh, this guy,
as everyone
like,
present there loudly cried, watching the
he really tried to.
self-immolation.
He ate, bro. He really proved that
enduring
point.
Painful
He really
suffering.
proved himself.
Didn't even flinch or make a
He didn't even flinch or make a sound. What?
sound.
Tweaking. I'm talking about what? What? Why would he do? Bro, really wanted to prove that point. Like, you got it.
Whether it was meditation skills or inner spiritual strength that helped the monk endure the agony of his impending death.
Look at his
I know
friend.
for sure, an ordinary person
He's just
wouldn't
there like,
last
damn,
like
dude,
that,
that guy's
let alone
kinda crazy.
endure the pain that hits 110 points.
110.
In 2007, a 33-year-old woman from Hong Kong named Cecilia Chung climbed to the top of Nyiragongo volcano, located in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It last erupted in 2002, flooding the highly populated city of Goma with lava, causing widespread destruction with hellish streaks of fire rising from it. Cecilia climbed nearly 3,500 meters for this site. The woman was thrilled by the terrifying view of the lake and wanted to take a close.
Oh, shit. Imagine throwing like a couple of the bros pull up. Each of us have like a pound of pee. Just whoosh, dump that in there. Like 10 bros. Fwah. Nah, like 20. Fwah. Yo, bro, that would be the craziest hot box.
Closer photo of it. To do this, she climbed over the edge of the crater, and suddenly, Cecilia slipped and fell down. However, flying about 200 meters, she hit a protrusion right above the lava leak. Cecilia felt piercing pain because the impact broke several bones. She was thrown into the heat, and it was almost impossible to breathe because she was too close to the lava, the temperature of which could reach 950 degrees Celsius. A helicopter, rescuers, and a volcanologist were sent to the scene. At first, Cecilia showed signs of life. However, the rescue operations were stopped due to poor visibility. As a result, without waiting for help, she fell into the volcanic lava lake. Eyewitnesses even hoped that the woman died instantly after the impact and fell into the lava without.
I hope she dies quick.
The thing is that on the pain scale, it hits a whopping 110 points. Death in lava, although painful, is instantaneous. That's why many people consciously chose it to end their lives. In 1933, A schoolgirl named Kyoko
Oh,
Matsumoto
people end
climbed
their
Mount
life.
Mihara,
That's
located on the
crazy.
Japanese island of Ito-Ushima, with a girl from her school. Kyoko was in love with her friend.
What?
However, in Japanese society at that time, same-sex relationships were condemned, and this oppressed Kyoko so much that she didn't want to live anymore. The schoolgirl threw herself into the volcano crater before her lover's eyes. The scariest thing in this story is that the girl became a role model for many Japanese people who wanted to end their lives. By 1935, almost 1,300 people had lost their lives by jumping into Mihara, until the Japanese
Yo, are
government
people
built
okay?
barriers around the area. Still, as
Yo, bro, do they die quick? That's all I want to know. Like, throwing yourself into a pool of fire is molten.
countless stories show prohibitions. In 2016, Colin Scott and his sister, Sable, went on a tour to Yellowstone National Park, known for its geothermal spots. They really look fascinating, but getting close to them is dangerous. The water here may not be as hot as lava in a volcano, but still, the 96 degrees reached by the local water bodies are enough to cause burns and even kill a person. But Colin and Sable ignored numerous warning signs and crossed the restricted area. Suddenly, the guy slipped and fell into the hot
White people! White people! Why?
water near the Pork Chop Geyser.
Pork chop
Such a death is
geyser.
more painful than death in a volcano because in a hot spring, it doesn't happen instantly, but slowly. Moreover, in almost all the park's water bodies, acid sulfate liquids are present to a
Damn,
greater or
bro.
lesser extent. So when Scott's sister returned with a few
thirsty boy.
rangers, only parts of her brother's head, torso, and arms were visible in the hot spring. And by the next morning, Colin's body had completely dissolved.
Wow,
It
my son
seems
got
that there
clipped.
couldn't be worse pre-death suffering.
115? What's
On
140
September 13th,
points?
1987, in Goiânia, Brazil, the owner of a local landfill, Devair Ferreira, invited neighbors, relatives, and friends over to show them his interesting find. Devair showed them a strange powder. It was sparkling
Showed them.
so mesmerizingly that guests rubbed it on their skin like glitter and took it with them to give to someone else. Yet none of them had any idea what this powder really was. The thing
that
is, the
good
man
night?
brought scrap metal, and someone brought
That
from a
white
neglected
girl.
hospital a metal capsule to his landfill. But those who did it didn't realize they had taken it from a radiotherapy machine. Devair Ferreira ordered the capsule to be cut open, where he found the powder.
Wow,
which was
okay.
actually radionuclide cesium-137. It is used in treatment to create a source of gamma radiation.
I just want to say this is why we are the smartest animals alive. I mean, we are. No sarcasm aside, but yo, what?
Capable of affecting human cells. It's specifically directed at cancerous tumors. But if the radiation isn't controlled, it'll also affect healthy cells. Devair, not realizing it, set off a deadly domino effect. So about 250 people
Ashy
came
as
into
hell.
contact
Put on
with the
some
powder.
lotion, dog.
Maria Gabriela Ferreira, the wife of the landfill owner, began to suffer from hair loss and internal bleeding. One of Devair's hired workers, Israel Bautista dos Santos, developed serious respiratory and lung complications. The other one,
Damn.
Admilson Alves de Souza, had his heart affected. However, the most affected was Devair's 6-year-old niece, Leigh dos
And
Neves
he
Ferreira.
gave it to.
She was placed in an
He gave it to his niece, bro. I would put the beats him up. Oh, you. What's going
isolated
on?
hospital room, but the staff was afraid to approach the child. The girl gradually developed swelling in the upper part of her body, hair loss, kidney and lung damage,
Oh.
and, just like Gabriela, she suffered from internal bleeding. On the pain
Poor
scale,
girl.
these feelings hit a whopping 125
Fuck.
points. All the people who came into contact with the blue powder got
I
very
feel so bad for that girl, cause I think getting stabbed was the worst pain I've ever felt, and I guess shark pain, shark bite is well, not I guess a shark bite is stronger than that, way stronger, and she went through something even stronger than that. Damn, that's a uncle of the year.
diseases, and this quartet later died. All the items touched by people who came into contact with the powder were buried in a repository on one of the city's mountains and marked for use only in 300 years and back. But when he started laying bricks around the core, he suddenly dropped one of them right on him. At that moment, the brick caused an uncontrolled nuclear fission chain reaction. It covered the scientist with a deadly dose of radiation of 5.1
That's
sieverts.
nuked himself.
After receiving a radiation burn,
Oh,
a person
Dr.
experiences
Manhattan
countless
type shit.
excruciating sensations at once. The skin blisters and ulcers, after which the vessels in it burst, and the person dies. In addition, due to the high dose of radiation, you feel how each of your organs slowly fails until you die.
You can feel it.
And that's exactly what happened on the 25th day of Harry Daghlian's suffering. So, the most painful sensation in the world is...
The hell was that?
This refers to a
Skinning?
specific torture. Before it, the
Brother.
skin was softened using sunburns or hot water. Then, the torturer made incisions
Oh! Full-blown cartel shit! Ugh.
starting from the least sensitive parts of the body and ending with the delicate
skin
skin of
like
the
a
face.
turkey.
The process was designed to keep the victims alive as long as possible, maximizing pain.
Damn.
Eventually, death could occur from blood loss, shock,
Oh,
or infection,
he looked like
but
the
such
back
a
of
method
a...
of punishment has existed for
Oh,
quite some time,
damn,
since
boy.
the
Look
times
the
of the
back of
ancient
a
Assyrians
salmon, boy.
and up to medieval Europe. Nowadays, they don't do it anymore. At least, it's definitely prohibited by law.